Dear student, good morning everybody. Welcome to my channel Sahaj Saral Ganit. We will discussing about theory of indices. In this class, we are discussing about theory of indices. Now, what is the indices? Now, at first we see here the 5 is multiplied 6 times. If a number is multiplied, if the number 5 is multiplied 6 times, then it is known as 5 raised to the power 6. Similarly, the number 2 is multiplied 4 times. So, it is 2 raised to the power 4. In this way, if we multiply a number x, which is a real, that is x belongs to R, and it is multiplied by n times, where n is positive integer, where n is a positive integer, then this is the x raised to the power n. It is denoted by x raised to the power n. Here we see that here we call the number x. X is called the base. X is the base, and n is known as the power. N is known as the power or degree or indices. Sometimes it is also known as exponent. X is the base and n is the power, degree, indices or exponent. Now, if we multiply x to the power 5 into x to the power 3, that means x to the power 5 means x is multiplied by 5 times, x is multiplied by 5 times, and further x is multiplied by 3 times. So it is multiplied totally, x is in 8 times. X is 8 times. Therefore it is x to the power 8. We can write this x raised to the power 5 plus 3. Now, if a to the power 4 into a cube is also explained as 4 times into a is also multiplied by 3 times, that is a is here multiplied 7 times. 7 times. This is a to the power 7, and we can write this is a raised to the power 3 plus 4. So if we take x to the power m into x to the power n, this is, from this we prove that this is the x to the power m plus x to the power n is x to the power m plus n, where x is real, x is real, and mn are the positive integer. M n are two positive integer. Two positive integers. Therefore, we get x to the power m into x to the power m is equal to x to the power m plus n. This is the fundamental laws of indices. Fundamental laws of indices. This is known as fundamental law of indices. X to the power m into x raised to the power n is equal to x raised to the power m plus n. Now, if we divided x to the power 5 divided by x to the power 2, that means x to the power 5 by x to the power 2, that is x is multiplied by 5 times and denominator x is multiplied by 2 times. If we cut this 2 times x, we get x into x into x, that is x cube, and we can write x raised to the power 5 minus 2. Similarly, if a to the power 5 is divided by a cube, that is a to the power 5 by a cube is a into a 5 times. We write in numerator, and denominator a is multiplied in 3 times. Therefore, if we cut 3 times a 1 2 3, we have a into a, that is a square, and we write a raised to the power 5 minus 3. Similarly, from this, observe this equation, we can write x to the power m divided by x to the power n is equal to x raised to the power m minus n, x raised to the power m minus n, where x is real and mn are two positive integers. X is real and xm are two positive integers. It is also known as the fundamental law of indices. Now we have x raised to the power m whole to the power n. What do you mean by x to the power m is multiplied, x raised to the power m is multiplied n times. X raised to the power n is multiplied n times. So we have x to the power, from fundamental law of indices, we have m plus m n times. Now we know a number is added to n times, it is the multiple of m and n. So x raised to the power m whole to the power m is equivalent to x to the power m n, where mn positive integer, mn are positive integer, m and n are positive integers, m and n are positive integers. Similarly, if two number x and y is multiplied n times, means xy into xy into xy dot n times. So we have x into x into x, x is multiplied n times, and y is multiplied n times. This is equal to x to the power n into y to the power n, or we can write x to the power n, y to the power n. Therefore, x y raised to the power n is equivalent to x y x to the power n is equivalent to x to the power n y to the power n, and x to the power m whole to the power n is equal to x to the power m n. Here x and y both are real and n is positive integer. X is positive, n is positive integer. Similarly, we get x by y. Similarly, we get x by y whole raised to the power n is equivalent to x to the power n by y to the power n, where y not equal to 0, y not equal to 0, as divisible by 0 is undefined. So y not equal to 0. X, y both are real and n is positive integer. N is positive integer. This is the laws, theory of indices and fundamental laws of indices. Now if x to the power n is equal to a, now if x to the power n is equal to a, then x is the nth root of c. X is the nth root of a, and it is denoted by x is equal to a to the power 1 by n. X is equal to a to the power 1 by n, or x is the nth root of a, where x and a both are real. X and a both are real and greater than x and a both greater than 0, both greater than 0. So we have x to the power n. If x to the power n is equal to a, then x is equal to nth root of a, or x is equal to a to the power 1 by n. X is equal to a to the power 1 by n. Now meaning of negative and fractional index. What is the negative and fractional index? We know if a is multiplied by 1 by a and the product is 1, so a and 1 by a and 1 by a is written as a to the power minus 1. 1 by a is written as a to the power minus 1. Therefore a is the inverse of a, and it is written by a inverse. A inverse is the inverse of a. A to the power minus 1 is the inverse of a. Sometimes it is known as a inverse. Now a inverse is multiplied n times, then it is a to the power minus n, and we know a inverse is equal to 1 by a or to the power n is equal to a to the power minus n. So we have a to the power minus n is equal to 1 by a to the power n. A to the power minus n is equal to 1 by a to the power n, where a not equal to 0 and a must be a real number. A not equal to 0 and a must be a real number. Our n is positive integer. N is positive integer. N is any positive integer. Now what do you mean by a to the power 0? What do you mean by a to the power 0? What is a to the power 0? We know from the fundamental theorem of indices, a to the power m into a to the power m into a to the power n is equal to a to the power m plus n. If we put m is equal to 0, if we use m equal to 0, we have a to the power 0 into a to the power n is a to the power 0 plus n, and we know that a to the power 0 plus n is equal to a to the power n. Therefore a to the power 0 is a to the power n divided by a to the power n divided by a to the power n, and is must be equal to 0. So here a to the power 0 is equal to 1, where a not equal to 0. A to the power 0 is equivalent to 1, where a not equal to 0. Therefore but 0 when a is equal to 0, we have 0 to the power 0, which is meaningless. We have 0 to the power 0, which is meaningless. Now what is mean by a raised to the power 1 by a raised to the power 1 by n? What do you mean by a raised to the power 1 by n? A raised to the power 1 by n means now a raised to the power 1 by n whole to the power n. A raised to the power 1 by n, a raised to the power 1 by n is equal to nth root of a. Nth root of a. Now a to the power 1 by n whole to the power n is equal to a to the power 1 by n into a to the power 1 by n into a to the power 1 by n times, and is equivalent to a to the power 1 by n into n, that is a. Therefore a to the power 1 by n raised to the power n is equal to n, that is a to the power 1 by n means nth root of a. It means nth root of a. A to the power 1 by n means nth root of a. Now a to the power m by n, a to the power a raised to the power m by n means a to the power 1 by n, a to the power m raised to the power 1 by n, or we can write a to the power 1 by n whole to the power m, where mn positive integer, where mn positive integer, mn are positive integers, and a belongs to r, a not equal to 0. A belongs to r, and that is a is a real number, a must be a real number, and a not equal to 0. Now if a is equal to 0, that is nth root of 0, nth root of 0 is 0, that is 0 is the nth root of 0. 0 is 0 itself, the nth root of 0. 0 itself the nth root of 0, that is nth root of 0 is equal to 0. Now if a, in case of a to the power n, if a less than 0, what happen. Now we have from this cube root of a negative number is equal to minus 8 whole to the power 1 by 3 is equal to minus 2 third cube whole to the power 1 by 3 equal to minus 2 raised to the power 3 into 1 by 3, that is equal to minus 2 raised to the power 1, that is equal to minus 2. Now fourth root of 16 is equal to 16 whole to the power 4. We can write 6 whole to the power 1 by 4, 2 to the power 4 whole to the power 1 by 4 equivalent to and is equal to 2. Now if we find minus 16 and fourth root of minus 16 is equal to minus 16 whole to the power 1 by 4, that is minus 2 whole to the power 4 into 1 by 4, that is equal to minus 2. Now here in case of fourth root of 16, in case of fourth root of 16, 2 is the principal fourth root. 2 is the principal fourth root of 16, but if fourth root of minus 16, minus 2 is not the principal fourth root of minus 16, is not the principal root. Therefore minus 2 is not a principal root. So we can write if we have if where and a is a real number, first case if n is odd, then a to the power 1 by n is unique. A to the power 1 by n is unique and it is a negative real number. It is a negative real number. Case number 2, if n is even, then a to the power 1 by n have no real nth root. Now thank you for watching and please subscribe my channel. This is the fundamental theorem of indices.